Mimi, do you mind cracking the door? Just a crack? It's going to get pretty hot in here. Thank you. All right. These temperature and humidity fluctuations are just a nightmare. I know you know it, right? Now we know which tune this is. Let's all sing it out. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. So good to see you. There are some very famous Pesach players who have come to our service today. For those of you who missed out, we had a great, fun sip and seder just before getting in the spirit of Pesach. And now we get to be in the spirit of Shabbat 2 for the price of 1, double the joy, and it is so wonderful. It's good to see all of your faces here. It's good to see some of our old friends and some of our newer friends, and also some friends who are recently back from various travels and snowbirding and what have you. And so it's great to be together here in our space on the cusp of spring during our special holiday. So how wonderful could that be? For the lighting of the Shabbat candles, we're going to invite John Katz and Sally Karasov to please come up. We're on page 120. And while they're coming up, this could be a good chance to say hi to somebody you haven't yet greeted for Shabbat. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. So in a second, all you have to do is light the candle, and then we're going to, we'll say when, and then we'll sing together. And if you want, you can actually read a little piece in English afterwards if you would like to.
You can read.
You can read either A or B on the left side of the page there.
A or B? I don't know what you mean by A or B.
There's two options.
Oh, word. Okay.
All right, John will be in charge of that.
Okay.
All right. Okay, just don't hold it over the candle. All right. Page 120. If you have the thin book, it's the page in the brackets. If you don't have brackets, don't worry about it because it will be the right page, page 120. Baruch atah Adonai melech asher yishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'amideh
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our day be among those who kindle light.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Shabbat, we say in the Kiddush every single Friday night, is two things that reminds us of. It's a Zecher L'Maaseh V'Reshit. It's a reminder of creation and experience, an opportunity to enjoy the creation all around us, the natural world. And it's also a Zecher L'Tziat Mitzrayim, a reminder of our exodus from Egypt. It's a time to feel free. And so here we have Passover during Egypt as a chance to feel the special sweetness of freedom, perhaps even twice as strongly, as we are, of course, all aware of those in this world who are not yet free, and that it's our Jewish responsibility to help lead to a more free world. So that breath of freedom that we take as we exhale the words of the Psalms in our Kabbalah Shabbat service, starting on page 130. 130. And this has a lot of call and response in it, okay? So if you don't know all the Hebrew, that's okay, because there's a lot of yeah, we can try that again. That repeats. Here's the call and response. We sing that part together. Together. Page 131. Sing to God a new song. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shelo Masu B'yom. Shiru Ladonai Sakru V'Goyim. Adonai Shamayim Sa'od Adon De'ekana Osveti Ve'zemi Tasho Yandai Rai Rai Yandai Rai 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 Yismechu Hashamayim Mitzrayim Haaretz Ve'yiramaya. We're in that second paragraph. Ga'alo Sarai Ve'or Hashebo Aziranu Kolatzeyaha Ifnei Adonai Te'ima Ima Yishbot Haaretz Yishbot Te'imel Ve'tzedek Have a little Mando time. Yeah. Yeah, a little love for Mando Josh. Adding so much color and beauty to our worship. Love it. Page 138, Lecha Dodi. We rise on the last verse and face the entrance to welcome Shabbat. Mimi, can you please crack the door again? It's going to get really hot in here. Thank you. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. Shamor v'zachor v'dikorecha, Tishmi'anu el Ameichad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, v'shemo tiferet v'letzira la 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 la, lecha lecha doti, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. Likrat Shabbat v'chu b'necha, ki mikor averacha, mirosh mikdem mesucha, sof ma'aseh v'machshava tefila lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. Mikdash melech im melucha, u'mitzvei nocham b'zah, rav rav shevet ve'em mekavrata, ve'hu yachamol alayim la 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 la, lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. Verse 5. Hitoreli, toreli, ki ha'orech u'bi'uri, uri uri, shutavei, kivod Adonai alayich, tiva la 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 la, lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. Oy v'shalom ateret malach, gam besimcha u'betzola, dov emuneh am segula, boi chala, boi chala. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. One more time, lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, b'nei b'nei Shabbat mekalela. You can have a seat. Page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Eloh, Malachei Amlachim, Hakadosh Page 144, turn the page. Yikadal, Yikadash, Shemei Rabban, Adi Brachirute, Biamrit Machute, Rechaye, Chon Yom Echon, Ubechaye, Nechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Ba'agala, Ubizman Kari, Veimeru, Yesh Merabah Mevorah, Ya'alam Le'omei Almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal, Shemei v'kudeshah, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush be'ata v'netemata, da'amiran v'yalama v'yimeru. 146, please rise if it is comfortable. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Page 149, together at the top. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sails of stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv ha'aravim. And we turn the page. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael, Torah u'mitzvot u'kilu mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Alkei Adonai Eloheinu, Shofeinu u'tumeinu, Nasiach b'chulecha, v'nismach divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu me'orech yameinu, me'orech yameinu. U'ahem negeh, makat ma'ila, אל תסיר ממנו לעולמי. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. Page 152. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shekebo, Shekebo, Nachuto, Leolamai. Shekebo, Shekebo, Nachuto, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai. See, turn to page 154. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לתותפות בימינך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם. The wonderful teaching by the Sfat Emet, who is one of the great Hasidic masters, just unparalleled depth and wisdom you get when you study the Sfat Emet. He was a 19th, 20th century Polish teacher. And if you read his Passover teachings, you see frequently the theme unfold that the Israelites were not ready for redemption at the time of their rescue, at the time of being redeemed, for a very specific reason. And the reason that God gave this release from Egypt, it says in the text, b'chipazon, in haste they had to leave, was because the idea of redemption, of truly realizing what it means to be free and to be newly valid, to be newly elevated in your existence, was something that no human being could experience the totality of in the first day, in the first week, the month, or the first year, or even the first decade. And so that is why, according to the Sfat Emet, we have to continue to do the Haggadah, do the storytelling, gather around the Passover table every single year, tell the story of the Geulah, of the redemption, in every daily prayer service as we sing Michamocha and sing the Song of the Sea. It's because not only was it too big of a concept to understand in any one age, but that, according to the Sfat Emet, redemption unfolds in every age. Right? It says in the Haggadah, which means it's incumbent upon every single human being in every generation for us to see ourselves as though we personally were there. And that includes, by the way, with all of the foibles and weakness of our ancestors. right? If you read through the Torah, you'll see that as soon as they get out, they basically instantly complain. They cross the sea and they say to Moses, what, Torah study group? Was it for want of graves that you took us out of here? The meat was so tasty back there. What will we possibly gain from this place? And over they argue with Moses back and forth and here and there. And Moses has to convince them and has to stop God from being angry at them. And it's a whole family saga. I mean, now you wonder why we have neuroses that we sang about before, right? And so all of that started, that unfolding journey, 2 steps forward, 1 step back to redemption began there, but it continues here. It's as much our story as it is their story. And that's why we sing and we celebrate every single year from year to year. And that's why we sing it here in this place in our service, in the Geulah section of the service, in the redemption song, the freedom song. Micha Mocha. We could do a little mandolin if you want with this one too. And definitely the tambourine, right? Page 158. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance the first night. Page 161. Let's read together at the bottom of the page. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Together, Baruch Atah Adonai, HaPores Yuhat Shalom Aleinu, V'Kol Amo Yisrael, V'Al Yerushalayim. Page 164. Please rise when it is comfortable for you to do so. Watch the change in the second blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotzeinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Vekonei Yaakov Vezofer Chasdei Avot Imahot U'Ebiduna L'Ibnei Bneihem Le'man Shemo Re'am Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magin Baruch Atah Adonai Magin Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah. Page 168. Atah Gibor Le'am Adonai Mechayeh HaKol HaTorah Ve'Moshiach Morid HaTa'al Mechakeh Chaim V'Chesed Mechayeh HaKol Merachmanim Rabim Tomech Noflim V'Rofech Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayeh Emunato Lishenei Ava Michamocha Bal Geburot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umechayeh Umasmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Atah L'Chayot HaKol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayeh HaKol Atah Kadoshim HaKadosh U'Kedoshim B'chol Yom Yaleinu Chasava Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKol. We continue silently through page 180. Note there's a special holiday insertion in the page 174. If you'd like to add that to your personal prayer, please take the time you need, and we'll be seated when we are ready. Ose Shalom. Nimroma. Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu. Le'al Kol Yisrael. Ve'imeru. Amen. Try Ose Shalom. Ose Shalom. Ose Shalom. Nimroma. Nimroma. Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu. Le'al Kol Yisrael. This is paired with a verse from the Song of Songs, which we traditionally read at Pesach, a beautiful love poem in the Bible, which speaks of a long winter finally going away so that two ones in love can escape together in a beautiful place. And here's that song. Hayati Yafati Kumila. Hayati Yafati Kumila. Ine hastava Hageshem chalaf alachno Ine hastava Hageshem chalaf That means arise, fair one. Yahayati, Yahafati, Ose Shalom, Ose Shalom, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu. Le'al Kol Yisrael. Amen. We take a moment to recognize all in our community who are in need of healing, and also all of the caregivers who care for all of those who are in need of healing. And so, yes, Joshua, could you please pass out the song sheet at this time? We've been learning over the last month or so a new melody from Misha Berah. And this is by Rabbi Cantor Lisa Legere. As Joshua is passing all of those out, I'll share the names of those we know in our community who are in need of healing. And if you would like to add anyone in your life who I don't name, you can feel free to do that, whether you're here in person or on Zoom in the chat afterwards. We think of our temple members, April D'Amato, Norma Diamond, Ann Karamanis, Josh Lipschitz, Ken Gammerman, Hattie Sussman, and Mark Warner. And also our loved ones, Barak Yaakov ben Avraham Besara, Tamar Bat Rachel, Harav Chaim ben Leah, Connie Ambrosino, Mickey Bart, Jay Fliss, Michelle Rosinko, Joanne Crusulo, Bart Young, Mark Ostreicher, Matthew Pincus, Jack Dock, Soraya Casey, Brian Kamens, Steve Kamens, Cecilia Buren, Marvin Goldberg, John Van Steenbergen, Monica Capoziello, Faye Young, Paul Frisman, Bruce Petroff, Raymond Wolf, Kim Weeder, Tim Maurer, Sipin Meyer, Carol Chaikin, Adrian Wasserman, Sherry Cohn, Joan Sidney, Trevor Jones, Peter David, Kevin Susi, Emily Berry, Drew Garabo, Davis Chamberlain, and Maureen Victor. Would anybody like to share someone in your life that you're thinking of for healing at this time? Ruth Stinton? Eric Mass.
Tatum Goldberg.
Tatum Goldberg.
Sam Filmus and Jared Carr.
Filmus and Jared Carr. My friends on Zoom. We add to our prayers Carol, Rob, and Al and Pat and Sword. As we turn to this interpretive Mishaberach, we raise our voices together. Mishaberach Avotei Abraham Yitzchak Yaakov. Mishaberach Avotei Sarah Kalea Rachel. May the one who blessed our mother, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer. Bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Abraham Yitzchak Yaakov. May the one who blessed our mother, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer. Bless us as well. Well, everybody, tonight on the lighter side, I thought I would take a little break from all that is troubling our world and our country and Israel and focus on Passover and its joy. Okay, and this is going to be interactive, so don't leave. Thelma. All right, I'm not keeping track, but this is going to be Rabbi's Passover trivia time. All right, and there might be a prize for a standout student. I don't know. I'm not making any commitments. All right. Now let's start with an easy one. Okay. True or false? True. Next. True or false? In the 1930s, Maxwell House coffee brand hired an advertising firm to market to a Jewish demographic. I'm not done yet. The agency hired a rabbi to research coffee, who determined that the coffee bean is more likely a berry than a bean, and thus is not Ketony oats, and therefore is kosher for Pesach, thus influencing a Passover Haggadah most brilliant marketing strategy of all time, which influenced not only the success of Maxwell House coffee for a generation, but also much of the way that American Jews understood the liturgy of the Seder. True or false?
True.
Stu, you win.
Okay, who here has that?
I don't
have one.
It's very stained.
As all good Haggadot should be. Okay, matzah is usually made from wheat flour, but 5 grains are acceptable for making matzah that is kosher. I'm not talking about your gluten-free matzah, which has tapioca and rice flour. What are the 5 grains? Do you know all of them?
Spelt, wheat, rye, barley, and oats.
That's right. Good job.
Pharaoh now.
I've been converted.
Pharaoh spent a long time listening to AA Run. That's where we learned from. Incidentally, those are also the 5 grains of which anything else that's not kosher matzah is forbidden on Passover. Okay? All right. According to Jewish law, next question. Jews may not own or derive benefit from chametz during Pesach. And since Israel's zoos are Jewish owned, all bread and crackers are dropped from the animal's food during the duration of the festival and replaced with matzah. That's true. I mean, that's not a true or false. But that's not the end of it. But which animals don't eat matzah at Israel's zoos? Is it? Well, it's multiple choice, so you're doing yourself.
Very funny.
Okay, so first of all, I think a pig will eat literally anything you feed it, including matzah. But is it elephants, gorillas, or buffalo that do not eat matzah?
Elephant.
Raise your hand if you think it's elephants. Raise your hand if you think it's gorillas. Oh, interesting. Well, gorillas share like 98.6% of our genome, right? So that wouldn't have been my first choice. The answer is elephants. They cannot eat grains. Who knew?
I just thought their trunks kept crushing the matzah. You just couldn't pick
Oh,
it
and they
up.
just can't. Oh, that's so sad.
But it was a trick question.
In 1945, the National Jewish Welfare Board produced matzah for shipment to Jewish military personnel to use for their Passover seders. In what shape was the matzah made?
Crumbs.
You don't get points for speed.
Very fast people. Our matzah we opened up this year, and it was like literally.
Starve David.
Yeah, right. I always say right.
Definitely flat. Yes.
Flat.
That's a great rabbinic answer. Flat. Technically, yes. It was actually in the shape of a V for victory. Oh. Okay. Actually, I did not know all of these, but here's one that I did know. Maybe some of you know it too. Where is the largest Seder in the world held? And it can be multiple choice if you don't know. Does anybody actually know this? Okay, should I give you a multiple choice?
You literally told me last week. and
I told you last week.
remember.
I told you last week. That's right.
And you don't remember?
Really,
it'll come to
Your
you.
hint is that it's not a place you would even put in your top 100 list.
Vatican City.
That's a really interesting guess, but no.
What did you say?
He said the Vatican.
Oh.
Yes.
Ah. Yeah, they do.
China.
Nope. I feel like I don't want to give the multiple choices because then it will be obvious to you. Further east. East of Krakow.
St. Peter's.
West of St. Petersburg, I think.
Or could it-
Similar longitude.
Warsaw?
Very close, relatively speaking. It's on the continent of Asia.
Israel.
It is in the tallest mountain range area in the world, I think. Do you know where? Kathmandu, Nepal.
Yeah, why?
So there was a Jewish mission to Pluto. It was 5,000 years from now, after they've already colonized all the other planets, and they thought they'd find no forms of life there. But you know how the joke goes, right? But after months of being, frozen and unfrozen in the latest technology, and they finally wake up and they really have to go to the bathroom, and they're getting really close, the Jewish astronauts, to Pluto, and they see a flag on Pluto, And what does it say on the flag?
Chabad
I just made up that joke, but there's versions of that joke like that. So yes, I think Chabad is heavily involved in organizing the largest Passover Seder, which probably includes not a small number of, formerly Israeli military soldiers who are ready for a far out adventure, shall we say, and other intrepid travelers. I think there are about 2,000 people who participate in that Seder.
That's so cool.
Pretty cool, right? All right, should we do some other different Jewish traditions around the world questions? Sure. True or false? Participants in a Persian Passover Seder will hold bunches of celery, chives, leeks, or spring onions and use them to lightly beat one another on the back or shoulders. Has anybody ever been to a Seder where you lightly whip each other with a vegetable? Well, then you're missing out.
Sounds like a Monty Python thing.
Is this 50 Shades of Green?
He went there. He went there.
The largest matzah ball ever was made on August 6, 2009, and it weighed how much? 100 pounds, over or under?
Under 99.
Over. No, he's.
Over. 150 pounds, over or under?
Make them, they weigh like 2
I was gonna say, the heaviest monster ball is my grandmother's.
Okay, it was made to be 5 ounces, but then they just soaked it for 10 years. And eventually it grew to 267 pounds.
Wow. Where was this?
This was Noah's Ark Original Deli. Has anybody been there? In New York City.
Oh, wow.
That ark was a sunk.
Only if they did 2 matzo balls.
Okay, true or false? In Morocco, it was traditional for Muslims to bring their Jewish neighbors some of their sourdough starter in the evening after Pesach ended. True. True.
Yeah, who'd come up with that?
True. And wouldn't it be a nice tradition if they then could share a meal together at this time of year for breaking Ramadan and breaking Passover? True or false? In 1998, Manischewitz was sued by L'Oreal Corporation for a series of adverts, this I guess must be British, for their Passover products that feature the tagline, "Because you're worth it." The suit was ultimately settled out of court for an undisclosed sum.
False?
False.
Yeah, that's not right. It was the advertising thing is the Hebrew National. We answer to a higher authority.
And what was the thing? Was it a?
Hebrew National hot dog.
I know, but was it a scandal or was it a?
No, that was a real tagline.
Oh, I
That-
remember those
that's
ads.
not,
Right.
yeah, that was false.
All right, let's do 1 or 2 more. Oh, here's a good one for around the world. Georgian, I can't pronounce this word, kanagi, are Pesach dumplings usually served with chicken or lamb soup or cold with a pomegranate sauce. They are made from matzah meal and what kind of nuts?
Pine nuts?
Are they peanuts, pistachios, or walnuts?
Pistachios.
Wow, you're very certain and you're very wrong.
They're not nuts, they're like foods, and that would not be allowed.
You're overthinking it, Lauren. They're made with walnuts.
It's Canada.
It's well, these aren't Canadalach, although that seems to be a related. I mean, different Jews have different dumplings, right? These are Georgian, like the European state, not the South.
I don't know.
Not the South. A popular Italian Pesach dish, scacchi, consists of layers of matzah while alternating fillings of leek, spinach, artichoke, and meat. Yum. But what does scacchi actually mean in Italian? Is it A, chess, because the matzah is said to look like a chessboard? B, spring, because that's when the dish is eaten? Or C, scratchy, because it has broken rough edges?
Chess.
Raise your hand for spring. Oh, they're tentative. Raise your hand for chess. The brave chess people have it. Congratulations.
Yeah, the German word, the
Yes.
German word for chess is Schach.
How do you spell it?
Schach.
Scott, I don't know how to pronounce it, Scotchy, SCA.
Chachi. Joni loves
No,
Chachi.
Joni. This is why
Oh my
the world
gosh,
thinks of
do you?
Americans. What it thinks of Americans. Thank you very much. All right, last two food ones. All right, these are the last
He
ones.
turned into the.
Sephardic ashuplados, widely eaten on Pesach, are better known as what in English? Ashuplados.
Autos.
Leather
With a
shoes.
T or a D?
No. With a D, ashuplados. It's Ladino, it's not a Spanish word, so.
Yeah.
Ashuplados are meringues.
Ah.
And in the Moss family, we have a macaroon that's basically a cross between a cookie and a meringue that are so good. With coconut and cherry in the middle. They're so light. Really yummy. I don't know if you can have any. I'm sorry. I ate all of them. Actually, maybe we have one more.
Share.
All right. Last question. So if you haven't gotten one yet, here's your big chance. The name of which common Pesach treat was first coined by French satirist Rabelais in 1552? Macaroon. Very good. Top of the class. All right, little round of applause to all of you who got one right. Here's your Pesach trivia. Okay. All right, let's count the Omer together. Has anybody ever counted the Omer before? Counting the Omer is a special Jewish tradition that counts the days up between Passover and Shavuot. And these are big agricultural holidays in antiquity, right? They're the barley and the wheat harvest, respectively. And so if you're a farmer in the ancient world, you see your grain ripening a little more each day. And so you count up and you notice its growth. And the Hasidic teachers say that it's like the attributes of a human being, that this can be a time of noticing our own growth or sowing our own growth that we wish to see in this period. So we can think about it on a spiritual level, as well as just a thing you do. This is on page 570, and I invite everybody to please rise if it's comfortable to do so. Now we actually count the day at night, and I won't tell you which day it is because then technically we've already counted. So what we say is, this is the day after the first day. Got it? That we're counting. It's the day after the first day. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. And we can read this blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Hayom shnei yamim la'omer. Okay, so we can repeat that if you want to know the Hebrew. Hayom shnei yamim, which means 2 days, la'omer. So it's 2 days, which is equal to 2/7 of a week of the Omer. And we can all have a seat. We'll take a moment now for Yistor, and followed by Kaddish. So if you're here for Yartzeit, I'll also read the name of your loved one. This section of the service is on page 574, just a couple of pages away. These are traditional prayers that we recite at the pilgrimage holidays, Sukkot, Pesach, and Shavuot. 570, I think it's 574. Is that not right?
It does in my book.
It says yes.
It says Yistor 574.
It's not in the, it's not in the brackets. It doesn't exist.
Oh, it doesn't exist in this prayer book, does it?
But we've been the big one, it does.
Do you
Oh,
want
I'm
this
sorry.
one?
Do you mind if I use the big one? Thank you. Sorry, everybody who got thin one. This is one of those quirks of having these Shabbat only books. They don't have the festival services in them, so I'm sorry about that. Hopefully everybody can see somebody who has a bigger book. Adonai ma'adam v'tida'ehu ben enosh bat chashvehu adam lehevel dama yamav katzil over v'boker yatzitz v'chalav le'erev yimolel v'yavesh. Adonai, what are we that you have regard for us? What are we that you are mindful of us? We are like a breath. Our days are like a passing shadow. We come and go like grass, which in the morning shoots up renewed, and in the evening fades and withers. You cause us to revert to dust, saying, return, O mortal creatures. Would that we were wise, that we understood where we were going. For when we die, we carry nothing away. Our glory does not accompany us. Mark the wholehearted, behold the upright, they shall have peace. Adonai, you redeem the soul of your servants, and none who trust in you shall ever be desolate. 23rd Psalm, page 576. We can read this in English. A Psalm of David. Adonai is my shepherd, I lack nothing. God makes me lie down in green pastures. God leads me to water in places of repose. God renews my life. God guides me in right paths as befits God's name. Though I walk through a valley of deepest darkness, I fear no harm, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You spread a table for me in full view of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My drink is abundant. Only goodness and steadfast love shall pursue me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai for many long years. Page 579, we can read this beautiful poem from the poet Zelda responsively, with you responding with the indented paragraphs. Each person has a name. We each have a name given by God and given by our father and mother. We each have a name given by our stature and smile and given by our attire. We each have a name given by the hills and given by the walls. Together, we each have a name given by the stars and given by our friends. We each have a name given by our sins and given by our yearnings. We each have a name given by our enemies and given by love. We each have a name given by celebrations and given by our work. We each have a name given by the seasons and given by our blindness. We each have a name given by the sea and given by our death. And if you want to take a moment for silent Yizkor, that begins on page 580. For all of us thinking of loved ones who have passed away in the last calendar year. I know you're here to say Yizkor, and you can feel free to do that. I'm going to share the names of those in our congregation who have passed away during that time. And they include Rose Gleish, mother of Lizzie Sharp, Eldon May Romine, mother-in-law of Kim Romine, Ellen Rosenthal, ex-husband of Emily Skolnick, Joan Marcus, wife of Joel Marcus, Blake Maynard, father of Brett Maynard, Marjorie Calvert, mother of Rick Calvert, Frank Tisano, father of Linda Nadell, Lester Horowitz, father of Ethan Horowitz, Annette Baslaw Finger, mother of Robin Baslaw, Saul Gordon, Audrey Waltzer, mother of Jan Waltzer Etzel, Heather Smith, mother of Sarah Garcia Scalisi, Henry Gettenberg, husband of Helene Gettenberg, Esther Spiegel, grandmother of Andrea McNow, Carol Gubitz, Janice Gaydon, mother of Charles Gaydon, uncle of Charles Gaydon, Ruth Ottenheimer, mother of Susan Ottenheimer, Phyllis Kaufman, Karen Flatley, Mikhail Levin, and Gladys Handelman. Anybody else here for Yizkor and wants to share the name of a loved one who passed away within the last calendar year, but I didn't read their name? Mary David.
Robert Sherwin.
Robert Sherwin. I'll invite us to please rise. שוכן ממרומים, המצלם מנוחה נכונה, תחת כנפי השכינה, עם קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים. לנשמות יקירנו וקירותינו שהלכו לעולמם, בעל הרחמים, יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתם, אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבם, ונאמר אמן. God, full of compassion, God on high, to our loved ones who have entered eternity, grant clear and certain rest with you in the lofty heights of the sacred and pure, whose brightness shines like the very glow of heaven. Source of mercy, forever enfold them in the embrace of your wings, secure their souls in eternity. Adonai, they are yours, they will rest in peace. As together we say, Amen. In the rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. In In the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring.
We remember them.
In the blueness of the sky and in the warmth of summer.
We remember them.
In the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn.
We remember them.
In the beginning of the year and when it ends.
We remember them.
When we are weary and in need of strength.
We remember them.
When we are lost and sick at heart.
We remember them.
When we have joys we yearn to share.
We remember them.
So long as they live, we too shall live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. Page 586, we stay standing for Aleinu L'Shabeach. This one is in both books. Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol, Latei Tila Yoser Reshit, Shelo Asanu Kivei HaRatzon, Velo Samanu Mishachot Adama, Shelo Asanu Chalkeinu Kahem, Vegor Aleinu Kechol Amona, Va'anachnu Porim, Umishtachavim Umodim, Lifnei Melech, Malchei Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. 588, Shevunot Shamayim, V'yoser Haaretz, V'yoshu Adon Shamayim Imav, U'shkina Tuzo, V'dovei Neromi, Hu Eloheinu Einod, Emet Malkeinu Emet Zulato, Gagatu V'torato, V'yadat hayom, Yashivota Elim Habecha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, V'shamayim Imav, V'haaretz Page 591. V'ne'emar Adonai V'melech al kol haaretz Vayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad U'shemo Have a seat, except for Marlene. Marlene is here to greet us. Marlene Schwartz on behalf of our board.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
A warm welcome to all guests who are here with us tonight. My name is Marlene Schwartz, and I'm a member at large and chair of the Human Resources Committee of the Board of Directors. Please join us tomorrow morning on Zoom at 9 a.m. for Torah study, which will be led by Rabbi Moss. The link is in your inbox. Also note that religious school is on holiday break and there will be no religious school April 9th through April 16th. On Wednesday, April 12th at 7:30 p.m., Kolami will be hosting its movie night. The movie this month is called God of the Piano. Check your inbox for the link. Also note that TBT will be closed on April 12th in observance of the last day of Passover. Finally, please also mark your calendars for Yom HaShoah, the Holocaust Remembrance Day, on the evening of Monday, April 17th. We are continuing our joint commemoration with Congregation Beth Shalom Radfi Zedek in Chester. Please let Rabbi Moss know the names of any survivors in your family so that we can include them in our remembrances. Again, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. And I'll just add to that, as a really convenient way to do that, I made a very short 4-question Google form that I sent out in the Shofar Blast this week. So if you have survivors in your family and you want to share some of their stories, please send them. I will organize their names. And if you want to share anything about their story, I'll include that too and collate some of this that we can gather and add to as part of our TBT history as well. And so on the continued theme of memory, we think now of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, whether it was at this season in years gone by or in recent days. We think of all those in the period of Shiva and Shloshim, especially right now we're thinking of the Handelman family in that period of Shloshim. Bob lost his mom, Gladys Handelman. Remember Gladys. If you're here to observe a yard site, I invite you to rise as I read the name of your loved one and stay standing if you're comfortable doing so. And they include Ann Mallow, Ida Rollin, Nathan Weiss, Kathy Liuma, Max Ottenheimer, Anita Schainerman, Ethel Weinstein, Norman Berg, Estelle Galitzer, Sonny Marcus, Michael Olbaum, Minette Sclair, and Saul Babin. Are there others who are in a period of mourning and would like to share the name of their loved one with the community at this time?
Marion Marzinski.
Marion Marzinski,
Sharon Messer.
Sharon Besser. Thing two of Joan Johnston. We turn to page 598. We join in these hallowed words. Yitgadal
Yitkadosh Shmei Rabbah, Yamad Yimrach Yutei Yomlik Malchutei, B'chayechon u'b'yomechon, B'chayei B'chol Beit Yisrael, B'hagala u'b'zman Kariv Yimru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam u'le'omei Omayah. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpahar v'yitkaman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei D'Kudashah B'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush v'chata v'nechmata, damiram be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shalomar rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom v'yimruma, v'yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace bring peace into our midst, and especially the comfort of that peace into the hearts of those bereaved among our people, as together we say. Amen. Oh, say shalom Roma, uya say shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen. Shabbat shalom, everybody. We can have a little seat here and we can make some kiddush. Any people not yet of legal age who would like to lead kiddush are more than invited to do so. Okay, on to. I'm gonna feed you a tasty cracker. It's gonna be great. Good sports. All right. Now, I don't know if everybody knows we have. Oh, did you already take no? I don't know if everybody knows that Delma worked on the costumes in the Guilford High School show, which, as you know, the production values of that show are always off, just off any chart of a high school production, right? And so some really wonderful costumes, some of which that got eaten and digested, so my condolences. Which now, if you didn't know what show it was, you probably figured it out. It was a great production of The Little Shop of Horrors. Okay, so page 123. Who wants to hold this one, and who wants to hold this one? Either can hold either. All right, you guys, ready?
Yeah. Are we doing the long one?
We always do the long one.
All right.
It's okay. We're gonna sing it, all of us together.
Okay.
Baruch
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei ha'gafim. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'rotzavanu. V'shabbat kodesho v'ahavu ratzon yimchilanu, zikaron ma'aseh b'reishit. Ki hu yom tefillah v'likra'ei kodesh, zecher tziyat Yitzra'im. Ki banu v'charta, v'tanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodeshecha, v'ahava u'ratzon, Yimchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadosh Hashem Lechaim.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much. And now, yeah, you can take the cover off and we'll make mochi together. It's the same blessing as with the chal. More matzah. Ooh, what a treat. All right.
Love it.
That tastes like the poor bread for sure.
You can taste the affliction.
Yes. Now with 10% more affliction.
Do I pass it around? No?
You want to pass it around?
Oh, yeah.
For anybody who wants some.
Why just tear it off?
Many of us already participate in the mitzvah, but it can't hurt to do a little more mitzvah. Okay, our closing song is on page 652. And this one actually is in. Oh wait, hold on, that's not right. But you know what? We turn to a page that's near a song from the Song of Songs, so we can sing that one. So that's cool. Sorry, sometimes page numbers I get are not always right. But we know Dodi Lee, don't we? Do we know a Dodi Lee at TVT? Do we know Dodi Lee? Ba'ani lo haroeh b'shoshani. Dodi Lee ba'ani lo haroeh b'shoshani. He is Otola in Hamidbar, in Hamidbar. Mekute mor ulevona, Dodi ba'ani lo haroeh b'shoshani. Dodi ba'ani lo haroeh b'shoshani. And if you're looking at the translation, I'll say, just because I know you're thinking about it, no, achoti does not actually mean sister. We're not actually singing a love song to our sister. Here, we're singing a love song to a beautiful woman whom we love. This particular part of the Song of Songs is told from a male perspective, but it actually goes back and forth throughout the psalm. So you get different perspectives of lovers reaching out to one another in beautiful verse. And so here it's frequently mistranslated as sister, but it just means this person opposite me whom I love very much. Okay, so if that helps you feel more excited about the song, I invite you to try it again. Dodi ba'ani lo haroeh b'shoshani. Dodi ba'ani lo haroeh b'shoshani. Vivavtini, achoti kala, vivavtini kala. Vivavtini, achoti kala, vivavtini kala. Dodi ba'ani lo haroeh b'shoshani. Dodi ba'ani lo haroeh b'shoshani. Uri za'avon u'voi teman. Uri za'avon u'voi teman. Dodi ba'ani lo haroeh b'shoshani. Dodi ba'ani lo haroeh b'shoshani. Shabbat is here. I wish all of you a little more love, a little more freedom, and a lot more joy. Shabbat Shalom. Chag Sameach. again, congrats to all of our players from before. You did a great job. All right, thanks very much, Hannah. There's no doubt. I told him you got the MVP. You got the Oscars.